Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the working session for parliamentarian. For the international scene, the Africa CEO Forum is making a comeback in Abidjan. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Mohammed Ali Hamad, received today the new ambassador of the State of Palestine, His Excellency Roed Adel Mohammed. The privileged relations of cooperation between the Republic of Djibouti and Palestine were at the center of discussions between the two parties. Subsequently, the ways and means to further strengthen them were also discussed. The President of the Assembly welcomed the new diplomat to Djibouti and assured him of his availability and support for the accomplishment of his mission in Djibouti. The Palestinian diplomat thanked the President of the National Assembly for the warm welcome and his availability. The National Assembly hosted this morning's working session as part of the Health Symposium, co-chaired by the President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Mohammed Ali Hamad, and the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah. The objective of this working session with parliamentarians will undoubtedly allow to assess the achievement and prospects of health, to discuss ways and means to create a platform likely to strengthen and provide our countries with a strong and equitable health system. Launched through the countries, this symposium will allow, according to experts, to conduct an in-depth analysis of the health system of Djibouti on the objectives of achieving universal health coverage, the fight against communicable and non-communicable diseases, also the preparations and response to health emergencies, which will be the main thematic focus. For his part, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, recalled in his speech that the health system in Djibouti has evolved at all levels since 1999. The objective of these working sessions with parliamentarians will undoubtedly allow to assess the achievement and prospect of health, to discuss ways and means to create a platform likely to strengthen and provide our country with a strong and equitable health system. For his part, the President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Mohammed Ali Hamad, in his speech highlighted the constant efforts put in place by the Djiboutian government to protect the Djiboutian populations in all its components and on the whole national territory. Launched through the country, the symposium will allow, according to experts, to conduct an in-depth analysis of the health system of Djibouti on the objectives of achieving universal health coverage in the fight against communicable and disease, and also the preparations and response to health emergencies, which will be the main thematic focus. The training dedicated to media professionals in our country is closed this afternoon at the Sheraton Hotel, organized by the Ministry of Communication in charge of post telecommunication, with the support of UNDP, organized this morning at Sheraton Hotel. This training, which lasted 4 days, allowed the media professionals to familiarize themselves with the stakes and ethics of professions, to have notions on the good practices of information and investigation techniques to improve the access to information to the citizens through the provision of the journalists of the necessary tools and methods of transmission. The closing ceremony was attended by the Minister of Communication in charge of post telecommunication, Radwan Abdullahi Badon, the UNDP representative, the General Director of RTD, Aden Abdi Jama', journalists from Djibouti Radio Television, and those from the various print media in the countries for this event of vital importance in the file of technical reinforcement of drafting, transparency, civic engagement, and public accountability. The training was given by senior staff of the Ministry of Communication, specialists in these files, namely Mr. Kennedy Ibrahim Hussein, editorial directors of the daily newspaper La Nation, Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdurrahman, head of the magazine at RTD, and Dr. Yusuf Ali Roble, a lawyer. Speaking on the occasion, the Director General of the Radio Television of Djibouti, Aden Abdi Jama, said that the training was a great importance to journalists. He said that this training is a way to improve the quality of journalists in writing, audio, and visions. This training was done for 4 days, which was held at the Sheraton Hotel, and this kind of training is going to continue. During this training, pointed discussions, ideas, and questions discussed. This work is actually very important to the journalists. Is a public awareness person. Radwan Abdullahi Bahdon, the Minister of Communication in charge of postal communication, he said, as you know all, this training is part of the Ministry of this training is overwhelmed to improve the quality of the press contents, which contains text, audio, and vision. This training knowledge is the purpose of promoting the newspaper in the countries and then get it into the world of way to progress. The Minister of Agriculture, Mohammed Ahmed Awali, accompanied by his colleagues of Environment, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, made a working visit to the regions of Dakhil on Monday. The objective of this tour was to inaugurate the social development project carried out respectively in Bandara and As'ila with the funding from the German Development Bank within the framework of the Regional Fund project for the reinforcement of resilience to drought. The day was attended by the Director General of German Development Bank, the Prefect of Dakhil, representatives of the Dakhil Council, parliamentarian, customary and religious administrative authorities of Dakhil, the region of unity. In Bandara, the Minister inaugurated a borehole to supply the population of Bandara with the drinking water. The borehole is supplied by a submersible pump powered by a photovoltaic system. The Minister also inaugurated a reservoir with the standpiper and drinking trough for livestock. In short, a noble action is for the benefit of the population of Bandara, which is all the more deserving since the work on the water works of the drilling was carried out by a national company specializing in drilling in Djibouti. The director of the German Development Bank expressed his satisfaction with the achievement of this project in Bandara, which is very useful for the population and will contribute to the efforts of the government of Djibouti in the fight against drought and especially to the resilience to drought. The delegation led by the Minister of Agriculture was welcomed and accompanied by the Prefect of Dakhil, Musa Adan Migani, on behalf of the population. The unity, he thanked the Prefect of Dakhil region, thanked the delegation for its mission to the region of unity. For his part, the Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, thanked the population for the warm welcome, and he took the opportunity to congratulate the agro-pastoral cooperative. The borehole is supplied, he said, by a submersible pump powered by a photovoltaic system. In short, a noble action is for the benefit of the population of Bandara, which is all the more deserving since the work on the waterworks or in the drilling was carried out by a national company specializing in drilling in Djibouti. For his part, the Minister of Agriculture, Mohammed Ahmed Awali, emphasized that the cooperative of As'ila has distinguished itself from its peers through its tangible performance on the ground for several years. It has received considerable support from the government and the private sector. It has received considerable support from the Ministry of Agriculture, which has spared no effort to make it a model cooperative. The population of Bandara and As'ila were all satisfied and thanked the government and the Ministry of Agriculture for its continuous assistance and support. It is important to underline that the project was executed by a national company called Garani, which has already realized more than 13 boreholes in Djibouti. A representative of the youth and the president of the Women of As'ila thanked the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Environment for their visit, for the granting of materials to the farmer and herders of As'ila we listened the various reactions of the population and As'ila during the missions led by the Minister of Agriculture in the Dakhil region. Still in the news of the countries, in preparations for the country's Independence Day and the operation of cleaning and the cleanliness at Zero Waste, the Community Development Center of the District 6 of the stadium and the District 7, 5 welcomed parliamentarian elected officials and members of associations. First at the CDC of the District 6, the Deputy Khaltoum, the Member of Parliament Khaltoum Farah Hadi Ahmed Berkale, and the local elected officials presented the programs of the preparations of cleanliness, Zero Waste, and asked the representatives of the community association to take an active part in this operation. The second step of the towers of the CDC was the CDC of the Cité du Stade to welcome the members of parliament, Safiya Almi, Nim'a Bulhan, Roda, and the local elected officials, as well as the representative of the community associations of the neighborhood 7 and the city of Stade to sensitize them and to ask them to participate in the Zero Waste operation for the cleanliness and the Independence Feast. The third stage of the towers, our reporting team was to the CDC of the District 5, which also opened its door for the Member of Parliament, the municipal elected officials, and the leaders of the community associations on the many of discussions, the community participation of the Zero Waste operation. As part of the festivities for the 45th anniversary of our independence, the UNFD hosted a cultural evening animated by national artists such as Abzid, Yahya, and Mohammadi. A colorful festive evening, and the commune of Bulaus commemorated the 45th anniversary of independence with that remarkable atmosphere and full of emotion, as usual, and faithful to the rich program set up in this framework, or the reading of the Holy Quran that has prompted a moment of recollections by the national anthem, songs and stories of the history of independence. These ceremonies saw the participation of the president of the commune of Bulaus, the elders, men and women, young and old, have responded present. As part of the festivity of the 45th anniversary of the national independence, the mayor of the city of Djibouti, Said Daoud Mohammed, held a meeting this morning at the city hall of Djibouti with the trader of the Avenue 13. The objective of the meeting was to sensitize the shopkeepers of these public arteries. The mayor asked the participants to paint in white color and hoist the national flag on the facade of their business premises. The mayor said that the beautification is a matter that belongs to everyone. On Wednesday, June 15, 2022, at 10 o'clock at the headquarters of the National Association of Local Authorities of Djibouti, ANCLD, took place the handover between the one hand Fatuma Awali Osman, ongoing president of the, and the other hand Mr. Umar Hussein Umar, incoming president, following the recompositions of the executive board of the INCLD dated May 12, 2022. The handover took place in the presence of the following person: the members of the ongoing executive board, the members of the incoming executive committee, the various local elected officials of the three communes of Djibouti, Balbala, Bulaus, and Rastika, the international technical assistants of the AMF, the permanent secretary of the ANCLD, the outgoing president, as after the customary courtesy recalled that since its inception in 2016, the ANCLD has initiated several actions in the context of strengthening decentralization and management of local authorities, thus with the support projects for the Djiboutian local authorities funded by the European Union and implemented by the International Association of Francophones. The NCLD has been made operational and has contributed to the capacity building of decentralization actors both at the regional level. In the city of Djibouti, the support project for the local authorities is now being continued with the aim of empowering and perpetuating the associations and strengthening cooperations between local authorities and civil society. A team of inspectors from the Ministry of Commerce went yesterday to the different markets of the capital to check the prices of fruit and vegetables after the supply of local market by fruit and vegetables that were in shortage. Households are relieved since the day before yesterday thanks to the arrival of a large quantity of fruit and vegetables thanks to the combined effort of officials, including the Ministry of Commerce and the union officials. Fruit and vegetables are available to the great relief of the Djiboutian family. The team of inspectors from the Ministry of Commerce carried out checks on sellers, some of whom were charging high prices for fruit and vegetables. These sellers were called to order to stop charging such as exorbitant prices. Moreover, instructions were given to the retailers not to increase the prices of fruit and vegetables. The baccalaureate exam for vocational education started in the city of Ali Sabih. The registered candidates from the region went early in the mornings to the exam centers at the vocational technical school in the city of Ali Sabih. A delegation led by the prefect of the region, Moussa Migane, accompanied by the president of the regional council, Sharmaki Hassan Allale, went to the examination center of the city of Ali Sabih. Welcomed by the principal of the Technical High School of Ali Sabih, the delegation visited the examination center where the officials noted the smooth running of the vocational baccalaureate exam. As part of the decentralizations of the vocational baccalaureate, the Ministry of National Education has moved several commissions to the interior regions to supervise the smooth running of the tests of the different branches of vocational baccalaureate. To this end, all the necessary means for the decentralizations of the baccalaureate have been put in place by MENFOP and the Ministry of Decentralization to ensure the smooth running of the tests. As in other regions, the MENFOP delegation, accompanied by the Deputy Prefect and the President of the Regional Council, were able to observe in Obok the serenity and good conditions of the exam. As part of the project strengthening the resilience of the population to climate change through the effective establishment of the marine area locally managed by the local community of Artaplej, funded by the European Union, which has come to an end. The association is Djibouti Nature, the organization of the implementation of the said project, with a delegation led by the head of the cooperation of the European Union delegation, representative of regional authorities, namely the Vice President of the Regional Council, Filsan Ilmi Hassan, the Deputy Prefect of Artas region, Mohamed Fouzi Ahmed Asowe. A field visit missions organized on Sunday, June 12, 2022, the missions made it possible to appreciate the achievement of the planned activities of the action by observing that all the expected results were successfully achieved, in particular the demarcations and zooming of the locally managed marine areas of Artaplaj by boys, the establishment of a local fishing community, organizing a legal associations and registered with the national authorities, the establishment of trained and operational community eco guards. For the international scene, the Africa CEO Forum is back in Abidjan. Several economic and political decision makers from Africa are participating since Monday, June 13, at the Sofitel Hotel in Abidjan in the Africa CEO Forum 2022. More than 1,500 participants, including several hundred leaders of the largest African international companies, but also heads of state and government who participate in this event. This 2022 editions of the Africa CEO Forum come at the time when the world in general and Africa in particular are going through great shocks. The companies present at these forums welcome its holding. For them, it is a real platform for exchange and reflections to find solutions for Africa's growth. In his speech, the opening ceremony, Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Ivory Coast, praised the resilience of African economy despite the economic crisis that the world is experiencing. For the first time since 2019, the largest gathering of the African private sector is held in person. This 2022 session's edition, it should be noted, marks the 10th anniversary of the Africa CEO Forum. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.